Village of Armada regular council meeting will now come to order as of May 24th. Will everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Connie. Clerk, call roll, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Bullock.
Here.
Ballard.
Here.
Slutz.
Here.
Pelkey.
Here.
Next is the approval of the agenda. What is the council's wish, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as presented.
Support by Shaw.
Bye, everybody.
Well, I want to put an addition in there.
Okay, that's an amendment then, so
Yeah.
it'll be as amended, not
Yeah.
as presented.
So, if you read Dave Wagner's report, he's talking about the Ferguson tractor and implements he wanted to sell. Believes he could get a high price on it, but by our ordinance for financials, purchasing, letting stuff go, so on, whatever. It's a long title. I'm not going to read it. Has to have a council vote because it could be over $10,000 that you could get for it. So
Okay, so what's your new
it
business?
would just be sale of the DPW Ferguson tractor and implements, and we can discuss it. I know that you're not.
Well, the thing is,
Would you want to add that in there?
I mean, it's all part of the deal, but could be another time, but,
Let's make it another time so that
Okay.
the president could weigh in on it.
okay.
I talked to him the other day, I think it was Wednesday if I'm not mistaken, and I was going to go down, I want to see what is with that tractor. And there's maybe still a possible use, we could use it for something else maybe.
Right.
Because we have nothing big, to pull or that size
Right.
for any other equipment. So
Okay.
I want to see it. I wasn't able to go
Sure.
the other day, and I told him as soon as I can. So I don't want any movement until that.
So-
Right. I think just if we discuss it, council gives approval for him to do it, then you can go take a look at it. And if you don't think it's a good, that we'll get a good deal on it, or there's use, and we can just not put it out there for sale.
Did you talk about tentative sale date or anything?
No.
All right,
No.
that's good.
It's just that for him to even do it by the ordinance, he has to have council approval.
Well, he's building it up to show it, that's good.
So you're adding that?
I'd like to add it, we can discuss it a little bit.
That's okay? Ballard?
Sure.
And Shaw?
So,
We'll keep you guys.
all right,
there.
keep that on. All right, so, any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Floor is opened up to citizen comments, 3 minutes to address the council. State your name for the record. No, okay, very good, thank you. No presentations tonight. You have your administrative reports, treasurers, FFP, code enforcement report, DPW report, clerk response to the resident, and the request to have the council, last council meeting, and the commissioner liaison reports. And that would be 6 of them.
So it's not really a liaison report, but I'll just note that I purchased the Buckabout kids ride that was for sale. It's in the DPW. I purchased it. It's in good shape, needs some seats. So I've already discussed that with Mike, and he's going to take a look at potentially putting that in the park. He's got to buy the seats for it, but I'll handle the rest. Other than I'd rather DPW dug the hole instead of me this time because of my back. So anyway, I've talked to Mike about it.
Very good, thank you.
I want to just touch on the memo that I gave you guys. Our last meeting and a meeting prior, Kevin had asked that we put the entire agenda packet online. I've given you my responses as to why I don't believe that that's a good idea. I will offer, though, to Kevin, if you want a council packet, you can fill out a FOIA request, and I can have one for you at every meeting. We had a gentleman that used to do that. It's just a subscription. There's not gonna be any cost to it, because it's just running an extra copy. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and I'll make you a copy.
Comment?
Could that be done electronically?
Pardon me?
Could that be done electronically?
Not easily. You'd be able to pick it up on Monday just when the council does, because some of the council people don't get their packets until Monday before the meeting. So they need to have their packets prior to anybody else having them.
No, that's understandable. I was just curious because if you're running it out of the machine, you just, a simple thing, you just hit scan or PDF and.
It would be an extra step. So what I would do is just make another copy, as I do for the council. I make 9 copies, I make 10, and I have one available for you here.
All right.
On the meeting nights.
All right. Thank you.
But you're gonna have to fill out a FOIA request, so just because we have to have that on record,
That's fine.
so.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Mr. President, I do have a question here on the DPW report. He is stating that we need no parking signs on the east side of Jefferson Highway. It's bullet point 3 under his supervisor concerns, second page, 3, 4, 5, and 7. The no parking signs, should I be working with the police chief to get that done, or?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely, yeah.
Fine.
The
And then-
chief has a final say-so on all posting the signs.
Okay, good. Then bullet point 7, sidewalk on West Main Street Bridge. I believe that our DPW can do that down there. It's not, they just have to bend some form in there and pour the concrete in. I think it'll be all right.
You know how much approximately, how many feet or anything?
Oh, no, it's just where the snowplow has deteriorated the side of the curb right there. And so I don't know how much that would, even if you put the form in there and then when he's doing the sidewalk repairs, just have him swing down there and just fill it up. What the heck? You know?
I'll talk with him on that and see.
Okay.
Lyle, if I can, just, Dave, with respect to the signs, I know the chief's a very busy guy. Dave was just, he said that he's put in sign requests before and the chief's unable to get to him, so it might help if you could broker that a little bit and, either get a yes or a no.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, there shouldn't be any problems with it. Once they took Lyle talks to the chief, talks about the Lyle or whatever, there shouldn't be any problem. So he's just got to understand, he has to go through Lyle and the street commissioner area.
Yep.
And the chief.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, here, let's see. Any other questions as to any of the other reports?
Mr. President, I do have something.
Yes, Mr. Flynn, go ahead.
Come back for another meeting, but one of Dave's items was the street sweeper. So I do have our quote from Bell Equipment for a used street sweeper. The equipment is still available. Check to make sure it was still there and have their cut sheet on it.
Any kind of price or any information?
$80,000.
Pardon me?
$80,000.
This is a brand new unit, or?
No, it's used 2011
Okay.
Pelican, so it's just a newer version of the one we have today.
So it's
Pelican's a smaller one.
10 years old already, and so we have to consider all of that. Are you going to be looking at older as well?
Pardon?
Are you going to be looking at older?
We can, in terms of through the source here, they didn't have anything older than that.
Does it come with any kind of warranty for a year, 6 months or something?
Good question, Dave. I do not know that. It doesn't say that on here.
See if they refurbished it and if there's a warranty of any type.
Yeah, we have to know some of the facts on that, Chris. And,
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
How many hours are on it?
Yeah, so if it was theirs, get a service sheet. see how many times it was serviced, what went wrong.
Sometimes you can talk to
$80 grand for a 10-year-old one, what's a new one cost?
About 220.
talk to
And about a 6, 7-year-old is in about 135-ish. He gave us each 2.
But you might be able to talk to the previous owners too. Anything else, gentlemen?
Yeah, just a comment though, that everybody wanted DPW reports, and I want to commend Dave Wagner, the new superintendent. I think he's doing a great job of what he's done, what he intends to do the next month, what concerns and issues he has, and if you get a chance, you might want to take a peek down on the south end of town at his operation. He's doing a lot to clean out, clean up, and make it look very nice and presentable.
He certainly seemed very enthusiastic when I talked to him.
Yeah.
Also, Chris, I don't think we've been doing too much of side dressing of the streets. You know, where the gravel is sunk down, apparently with the rain, or vehicles running over the side of the pavement. So we may start to sort of looking at that. And that means buying gravel, you know. So I'm addressing some of them because I see some of them are, I think, too high. When they get to be 2, 2.5, 3 inches, you know, I think it's time to dress them. So these are what we're talking about, streets there, with a street sweeper.
Yeah, no problem. We got the sidewalk project. I gotta get the final quote from Brandon. Him and I did a walk a while ago now. We've been playing a little phone tag. Dave and I also picked 3 trees for removal in the right of way. And then Joe, we gotta start thinking about the plantings and how we wanna execute that. Maybe now look into the fall.
Yeah, you can't, well,
You know,
can't
as
dig
the
it, so
weather.
you couldn't, before we got our good deals because they were nursery stock, but they could go out if they dug them from and give them to us. You can't dig them after March 15th. So
Okay.
they'd have to be, you know, on the lot stock.
Your fall planting would probably be better because of the summer,
I was thinking too, the heat and the
with the
weather.
heat and the water. All right, anything else here? General business, which is the consent agenda, approval of the regular council meeting minutes of May 10th, 21, and the payment of bills. What is the council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support. Moved by Ballard, supported by Clark. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the old business. It'll be the sewer plant update, and that's Mr. Clark's department, please.
Sure. SBR tank number 1 has been painted and caulked. 3 of the mixers have been installed. They are now working on installing the aeration piping. The grit removal equipment is up and running and actually removing grit. Nobody can remember the last time that the old equipment was operational. It's been a long time. South Pipe Gallery is still being worked on. Various electrical is continuing. And then I have one little thing they found here, future work. When they penetrated the flat roof with the piping for the aeration, they found out that the insulation on the roof is wet. So that means leaking. They've penetrated the roof in probably 7 or 8 areas. They discussed patching. I said, let's get a quote on replacing the whole roof. The roof is the original roof. It's over 30 years old. And I have kind of an idea that they talked about it. I still haven't had the quote to truly look at, but they talked about $38,000. So anyway,
Is asphalt, is it, Mr. Clark?
what's that?
That asphalt?
Yes, with stone on top, you know, and the insulation about 3 inches thick.
Right.
But where they penetrated the roof, where all these pipes coming up, that's what, each one of the penetrations, the insulation was wet. So that leads me to believe
It's all.
The whole roof isn't wet. It make no sense to just patch where they've done this. So I'll await the quote and I'll let you know what's going to happen. It looks like we're going to be replacing the roof. And that's all I've got for right now.
Very good. Any questions of Mr. Clark, please? If not, Mr. Belkey, you have a short report?
I want to mention that we did have I think what we're going to call the DPW roundtable. We had it a week or so ago. This is where Chris, Streets, Steve, Sewer, me, Water, Dave Wagner, Wally Bencabbage. Wally is the operator in charge of the water treatment plant, and Matt, what's Matt's last name? Carson?
Carson.
Yeah.
Matt could have been there. He was doing something else at the time. We all got together. We're going to hone it a little bit so that we have a way to breeze through and not take the hour and a half. There for an hour and a half or 2 hours. A lot of good discussion on stuff. It's great to see things start to come together now and discuss ways to move things forward that have been really kind of stuck for a long period of time.
It was also our first one too, so.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, Steve and I had a previous one, but it's really not complete unless you're there.
Right,
And,
yeah, I did mine one-on-one, you guys did one, so that's our first one together, so.
Yeah.
And it was good, very good.
Yeah, I think it's very good. And they may slow down once we catch up with all the stuff that we're talking about right now, but very good session, and I really appreciate you guys showing up. And as I say, I think Dave's doing a great job to date. So.
Did you say you're doing those weekly or monthly?
Monthly, once a month. I think that's probably what's needed. One of the items that we did discuss there is, and it's in his write-up, is the sale of some of the old materials. So you see in there that he did take a lot of the old brass water meters that had just stacked up over the years. He sold them, got $7,200 for them. And what Steve and I agreed, since they're really water sewer, we agreed to take that money and buy 4 boxes of new water meters. These are the type that you can interrogate with a meter reader, a digital reader, and RF meter. And we've already got one of those, and so we also purchased another one at the tune of $6,152.54. So we actually came out with extra money, but we were able to take the money from the old meters that we sold for scrap and buy this new stuff. Now, I say that because one of the things I'm starting to work with Dave on is a hydrant flushing schedule. We do the Simon's hydrant on a regular basis because of the dead end loop over there. We try to keep that flushed when it's not freezing outside, but a schedule for the entire village on a regular basis. We're thinking about it. I'm a little scared to do it, but we really need to exercise our valves, the main valves. The risk is you turn them, you break them, but if you exercise them regularly, then generally they don't break when you turn them. So we're talking about that, and a water meter replacement program. The meters we've got, they're very accurate and they last a very long time, but they're not impervious. Over time you got to replace them. So buying these 4 boxes of new meters, we can start looking at the oldest ones in the village and start swapping those out. So having bought those meters with money from scrap was a very good deal for us. Don't have a status yet on the C2R2. I asked again about that today. It should be any time. With respect to C2R2, one of the things we're trying to do is change the media in the filtration vessels at the water treatment plant. I'm going to be meeting with Jim McIntyre of Sunshine Water Systems, Wally Bencabbage, and Dave on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. We're going to go over operation of the facility, and we're going to discuss the process for changing the media. We're not buying anything yet, but I want to make sure that Wally understands everything about the plant Sunshine was the one that helped put it in. So that'll happen, and then to discuss with Dave and Wally, because I've done it with Ed, Ed's gone now, discuss with Dave and Wally the process. I'm assuming, again, fingers crossed, we're gonna get some money out of C2R2, but we don't know yet. Anyway, that's on for Wednesday. I've also contacted, last item, contacted Mainline Plumbing out of Shelby Township. I think he's the third guy I contacted. Our cross connection and backflow prevention program is ongoing for the non-residential facilities in the village. We had, I think, eight different units checked. We need to have 5 of them tested. So I'm going to work with Mainline Plumbing. They're going to do all 5 at $325, which is cheap, I think. And so we will not only have led by example by having had our stuff tested first, but we will also get it tested now so that we're in compliance with our own regulation. Probably not a bad thing to do. Anyway, $325 for that. I'm just trying to coordinate a date to do it here in the next 2 weeks. That's all I have.
Very good, thank you. New business approval of the payment of performers for the Armada jams in the park. So what is the council wishes?
Mr. President, I wish to resolve to approve creating the checks for all performances at Armada jams for the 2021 concert season and to allow disbursement to the performers on the day of their performance.
Support.
By Bill. Here, right?
I think Sled's got it.
So that's, oh, okay. All right. Sounds like it came from here, I'm sorry.
That's the way to.
It's a good idea.
All right, so,
Wait, is this the first time we've done that?
No, we've done that.
No, we
We've
did
done
that
that for the last few years.
Last couple of years.
Yeah.
But it's by council, we have to.
Well, that way we don't have to wait for the schedule of bills.
Right.
So we
They're all
can
done
pay
ahead,
them.
and then the night of the concert, I take them up with me. and I bring them back.
Yeah.
It's just a lot easier.
Yeah.
Good.
any further comments? If not, all in favor?
Roll call.
Right, we're spending money.
Yep. Shaw,
Yes.
Sledge,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Bullock.
Yes, motion carried.
And Ross.
What did we say?
Ross is official.
Ferguson tractor.
The
Sale
first
of-
guy.
Okay, so this is one of the items that, I don't know, Chris, you might have been gone by that time, but.
I was here for it.
Okay, so we went into the back of the DPW facility, and Dave was talking about some of the stuff he was doing, and he expressed some interest in selling the Ferguson tractor, the brush hog, and what else has he got behind it? It's maybe a small mower.
Probably a woods more.
Yeah, probably. I can't quite remember. He's got the tractor and 2 implements. He expressed concern about the tractor. He says he can't find parts anymore for the tractor. Its throttle is not hooked up properly. It's broken, and so it runs full on, which I would think is a safety issue. In any case, he described several different concerns, issues and concerns with it. He's talked to Van Pamel about the price for those tractors, and Mr. Van Pamel said, for whatever reason, the market's hot for those. You can get $9,800 potentially for that tractor. And now we'll probably get a little bit less, but he's looking to buy a new zero-turn mower. Really doesn't matter to me what kind he gets. I think you got some experience in that. But you get $99,000 for that. You'll buy a zero-turn, commercial zero-turn, easy, I think. And so by, again, the ordinance process, a department head can approve. I don't know who would approve this because there's nobody directly responsible, and maybe it's you 2 guys. Somebody directly responsible for the DPW operation. I mean, I'm
It's Chris.
responsible
Is it a streets?
for the DPW in general.
They're looking for that for the park. That's what
Oh,
they-
park.
They want for any grass cutting in the
I think
village.
that still come under the streets, I don't care, you know, if you want to put them
Well,
with
it's
us,
gonna be
that's
under
fine.
general anyhow.
Yeah, the point is, again, trying to follow the ordinance, it says $3,000 to $10,000, a department head can approve it. If it's over 10,000, so this is 9,800, who knows? Maybe it's a bid and market and we get $10,001. Well, if it's $10,001, then council has to approve in general the disposition of the tractor and the implements. So all I'm looking for is, and again, subject to you, Marvin, going down and taking a peek, and your thoughts on it, is given Dave the approval now after the discussion that if you agree it's time to sell, that he's able to do it and we don't have to come back for 15 meetings to get the approval. Right? So it's just a cumbersome process.
We could probably get a bid from North Center or Bob up there.
I would think so.
His
His,
down at 23 or 29 Mile Road, Schmidt, he made a bid on it.
yeah.
We don't know who's gonna bid.
Yeah, well, he could go out and solicit some bids from people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to have some bids for something.
Right, I think he was talking about putting it out with a sign up, but I don't know that that's the most efficient.
No,
way.
that,
I would take it to some of these dealers, especially if Van Pamel says it's a hot item right now. In any case, what he's suggesting, and I have to believe it's true, is we put more stuff in the park, is it's really unwieldy in the park. And
Yeah, they have a hard time cutting.
To get
I've
around
seen
the
them
equipment
cut
and-
a couple times already, and they need a zero turn in there, in that part.
or something small or whatever.
Yeah, they gotta have something smaller than what they're using.
Well, and then actually even cutting the well sites would be quicker with the zero turn than it would be with
Yeah.
the old style tractor. And again, the age of it.
So that's all I'm seeking, is that he has the approval after discussion to then solicit bids and so on, right? So we get past that part of the process. And now he can do what he needs to do. And I'll come back with hey, here's the bids I got, or he'll just pick the high one, whatever.
if the tractor is in good shape too, and if we see a need for it to be used someplace, instead
Good
of
keep.
sitting in a corner in a barn or garage.
Right.
The thing is, they do make, what do you call it,
Aftermarket.
like aftermarket or tool,
Rebuild kits.
possibly rebuilt. Some of these guys can do it, like Gary Young here, he's done my tractor work for years too. And so they do rebuild, but some of the stuff has not been taken care of over years.
Oh, I got it. It just, it actually doesn't look in bad shape, but he's saying he's asked around, he says he cannot get parts for the throttle.
Well, if it's too big
He's
for
got
what
the
he
throttle
needs it
trigger,
for, why
it's
not
too
sell
big.
it for more than you can buy
Exactly.
buy a zero turn?
Well, that I think
Makes
is
more
what he's.
sense.
Now, Ross, we did add, but he didn't put it in here, when we talked about it, he's gonna, you have to get it around, you're gonna get it, and that's gonna be driving it to the park. So we talked about one trailer.
Well, right, and that's,
Along with
trailer's
that.
easy if you get, let's just say you get 10 grand for the tractor, then buying a zero turn in the trailer is easy because.
Well, you get to, then you're throwing the 3,000 into the bagger too, because he wants that for leaf pickup.
He was suggesting he could get it back, or he doesn't necessarily have to do it now.
But still.
On the other hand,
He said
I'd like
not
to,
put it on
the
there for a
Ferguson
time.
may work, if you can get it working, to put a blade on it, and that's what you plow the downtown sidewalks with. Maybe you do that, right? Right now, everybody is shoveling, but, or not. right?
No, I was gonna say, or not.
Store owners have done it for years, so.
Yep.
Mr. President, I think what we should do is we should have you, maybe Chris or myself or somebody, go down there and take a look at that tractor. I have a Massey Ferguson tractor like that, and I have no problem getting parts. I don't get them from up here at Van Pamel's, but I do get them from a place up in Reese, Michigan, which is on my way to my cabin. So there's a Massey Ferguson dealer up there that deals in those small tractors like that. And I know that he's got maybe 2 or 3 of them sitting out there on his lot right now.
Same with K-Pac.
Right, exactly. K-Pac has the same thing. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go down and take a look at this tractor, see what it needs, give Dave a little bit of encouragement and say, look, give this guy a call up there and see, give him your model number, serial number, and see if he has the parts available. And if he does, get them shipped down here, get it fixed. Okay? Then, okay, then let's see if we can get a better price for it. Let's face it. Nobody's gonna wanna give you top dollar for a broken machine.
If they have to retool something, you know, it takes them time and money, so, that's why I said it's a good offer there.
What do you guys you wanna shelve this then until you
I
look
would,
at it?
I would table this until the next meeting.
Are you gonna get
You give
model
us-
and serial?
That'll give the
number?
three of us, excuse me, Ross, Chris, Lyle, and myself. I've had a lot of dealings with tractors.
I've done a fair amount of tractor work myself, so I don't mind going and looking even.
And I'm the old farmer from years ago.
So we're gonna say bring back to the next meeting.
I taught ag mechanics.
Yeah, but those had,
Taught ag mechanics.
And Dave has the, all the paperwork, the book, everything that came with it, so he's got all, every
Hey, I mean,
part
we-
number and name that you need.
If we could use it, so yeah, let's set a time, let's go take a look at it.
Okay. We'll bring that back to the next meeting.
Very good.
Um,
Up and coming agenda items?
Just the parks will be, June 18th will be our first jam in the parks, our major jams in the parks. And if you get a chance to go by the park, see what the DPW has done, those guys are really doing a nice job. They painted the pump house, they painted picnic tables, it's all the same colors, the gazebos, so it all matches. They have new trash cans out there, we put in sandboxes. Ross is getting this, what do you call it?
Oh, the buckabout.
The buckabout.
Yeah, the guy took the sign. Did the guy take the sign to work out there? I saw him taking
Taking on the
it.
sign, I cleaned up all around the pump house, I asked them to put in mulch, they put in mulch around there, so that looks real nice. I did add mulch in front of the sign and around the sign, so it's looking good. Park's definitely presentable,
Good.
and people are using it.
Are we gonna have any ads for your guests to come in for the concert?
I've had 100 sheets made up, and I passed them around to the businesses already, so they have those, and we have one, I think, posted here.
It's on the website.
And then Joe, it's on the website, and then I think I'm gonna do an interview with Joe on the Channel 7 or whatever channel.
Six.
Channel 6.
Channel 6. Wow, Channel 7, holy cow.
Well, we'll have a lot of people from Detroit area then, you know.
Right.
Yeah, get everybody out here.
You got one posted up by.
The first concert's Bill Burnham and Company, and Sam has said he was the best entertainment that they
He's
had.
very good.
I've heard that,
He's
yeah.
very good, he's
Yeah.
very good. He played at our place, he's very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Got a stand-up bass and, well, he's very good.
yeah.
Citizen comments, of course, open
No,
up.
one more thing to add on to the upcoming agenda is the cell tower lease. Jeff and I have talked with a few people, and he's going to talk to a communications attorney to see, the one lease is up in 4 years, and the American Towers addressed us to possibly renegotiate the balance and the remaining balance of the second lease that we have. So there'll be large sums of money involved, so we're gonna check with a communications attorney, see how much the attorney will charge, and then we'll go forward from there.
In other words, would we wash our hands of it then totally?
No,
We'd still own it.
oh yeah, you never sell it, you
Oh,
just lease spaces on the tower. So,
Now, if we can make more money, go to it.
we're hoping.
We're trying, yeah.
We appreciate that one. All right. Council comments at this time? None? Community events? We have the Memorial Day Parade
Yep.
with the AMVETS sponsoring on Memorial Day. If everybody can get out and support our AMVETS and our veterans,
What time is that at Martin?
I
10.
think it's
10
10. You know, normally it's 10. So they'll be forward march down Fulton Street, and I think they're gonna have the address over here at the
At the school.
Memorial.
elementary school.
Elementary school. Admin
The
building.
old
And
elementary.
then Ross is doing a flyover with his plane.
Kinda tough without wings.
Darn, I
on it,
would
so.
miss that, darn.
Next year.
Well, Maybe next year we can get it back together. So, anyhow, that's a big thing, really. Let's support our AMVets and our veterans. They really supported us over the years. Tonight, we don't have any closed sessions. Now I'm going to entertain a motion for adjournment.
Mr. President, the time is 7:37. I move to adjourn.
Support.
By Shaw. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.